write your song 1-800?
So I first got the idea for 1-800, I think just incepted into my mind a couple years ago when I released my second album, The Incredible True Story, and I went to fans' homes and I spent time with them and their families. And the biggest thing that they would tell me is they were like, your music is great. I love your music. I love it. You give me something to enjoy and listen to, and that's cool. They're like, but it's your message. It's what you're spreading. It's like, that's the thing that, like, makes me feel great or connect to you. And a lot of people were like, yo, you saved my life. And then I really thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I had to ask myself, like, man, if I saved your life, but I wasn't even trying, could you imagine, hopefully and possibly, all the people that I could affect if I actually tried and I made an entire album? Because this album is so much more than just suicide, you know what I mean? It's on this one song, and mental health awareness. It's about anxiety, sexism, classism, being black, white, every color in between, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, and truly the fight for equality of every man, woman, and child, regardless of race, religion, color, creed, and sexual orientation. And it's that knowledge and that understanding of a message that I can have to not push to people, but merely provide for those who are willing to lend an ear. That's like what keeps me going now. That's what makes me want to make music.
The radio started talking about suicide awareness and suicide prevention, and there was this young guy, this country singer that had come on, and he was speaking about how when his ex-wife committed suicide, they had 6 kids together, and and every time I mention suicide and start talking about suicide, I'm going to try to keep it together for y'all. Try to keep it together. So, when he started talking about it, I seriously wanted to cry for him, because he had 6 kids, and his ex-wife had committed suicide, and he was kind of explaining he didn't know what to do. He knew Trace Atkins, who's another country singer. He's a very good friend of his. A lot of people, when they have loved ones that commit suicide, people on the outside don't exactly know what to say, which is very true, because I've been in that position. You really, you don't know what to say or do, and I think people don't know what to say because they don't want to say the wrong thing and offend that person that lost that loved one, and end up either losing a family member, losing a friend, or making them more upset than they really are. They already are. So there was a question about, well, what is your advice, being in that position, to give to other people? What can you say to other people since you've been in this position to say, hey, you can say these things and you can do these things? And he said one of the things that his friend Trace Atkins did is right after his ex-wife passed away, is Trace went and bought a month of groceries for their household, and for him that was a big relief, because now he didn't have to worry about how he was going to feed his 6 kids. And it's little stuff like that, I think, that helps people see that at least I'm here to help you. If you need anything, feel free to reach out. And I think a lot of people some people who have lost loved ones to suicide, they feel guilty and they're more susceptible to depression and suicide. And I'm trying, y'all. And so okay, so being in that position myself and losing several people that I've known to suicide, it's hard to deal with. Alright, so I'm back. I'm sorry. So losing someone that you love to suicide is already hard, but studies have shown that more people commit suicide than homicide. There's more suicides in the world than there are, not the world, there's more suicides that happen than there are homicides, which is a very, very surprising statistic. So not only are you susceptible to depression when you lose someone to suicide, there are studies that have shown that now you are more susceptible to suicide. So I think it's important for people to go to support groups or call the 1-800 suicide line to get help. And you have to know that you're not in this alone. There are people, it doesn't even have to be someone close to you. There are complete strangers that are there for you. That's what that 1-800 number is for. The internet is so amazing these days that you can find anything on the internet now. So even just a simple Google search, suicide prevention, suicide awareness, you will come up with a million numbers and a million websites, and you have to be willing to at least listen to somebody else. You know, there is help. So going back to the country singer and Trace Atkins, he was basically grateful that his friend at least went and bought grocery, because now he doesn't have to figure out how he's going to feed his children for a month at least. So as I was saying, I felt the need to make this video dedicated to getting, I don't even know how to say it, I felt the need to get the message out there, basically. Some people I know are afraid to reach out because they don't want to look as if they're weak. From personal experience, I really do think it's important when I really do think that it's important when you lose someone that you go get help, especially when you have children involved. And that was something that the country singer said. He didn't want to personally go to counseling, but he knew it was important. He knew it was important that his kids got it because they lost their mom. I know some people don't want to go through the counseling, but you have to understand important. It's important in the healing process. Especially when you have young kids involved. Especially when you have young kids involved. And that was something that he said. He knew he personally didn't want to go through counseling, but he knew it was, gosh, I'm such a crybaby. It's important for people to understand that you have to, you probably, there's a 95% chance that you need to go to counseling after you experience losing a loved one to suicide. I think that's an important step in healing, and that was something that the country singer said. He knew he personally didn't want to go through counseling, but he made his children go because they were young kids. They lost their mom, so he knew it was important that their children went. So, and I thought, you know, that was something people don't talk about. When you lose someone to suicide, it's life-shattering for people that are left behind. So I think it's an important step that you go to counseling, even if it's just one session, 1 or 2 sessions. I know you cannot be healed by talking to other people, even if it's family. My suggestion is someone to suicide. You're going to feel like it was your fault, and that's one of the biggest things you do not want to do. You can't blame yourself, because if you do that, you're not doing anything but hurting yourself more. So you have it. I think it's important that you reach out to someone. It doesn't even have to be family members. If you feel like you're going to be judged by your family, because some people have that mentality, that get over it mentality, don't reach out to family. I mean, that's the honesty of it. Don't feel that you have to reach out to family members or friends that you're close to. If you're feeling like someone is going to judge you because you're still talking about losing that person, or it's been a few months or a few years, and you feel like if it still affects you like it's affecting me now, it's probably a good idea that you talk to somebody about it. And the last person I lost to suicide was my nephew. And I didn't talk about it then. I didn't talk about it to anybody. Such a crybaby. I'm sorry. I didn't talk about it to anybody. And I probably should have, because it's still affecting me today. I'm sorry. It's still affecting me today. So that is, I think that's why it was important for me to get on here and do this video today, because maybe I'll be able to help somebody who is experiencing the same thing and don't know what to do, or don't know where to go or how to get started. So for me personally, who has experienced more than a few suicides, losing people to suicide more than a few times. My first thing is go get help. Go talk to somebody. And like I said, if you feel you can't talk to certain people because you feel that they're going to judge you or whatever, talk to a stranger. That's what the 1-800, that's what the suicide prevention hotline is for. Google help. Get a psychiatrist. There's a lot of free resources for you. If you don't have the time, if you don't know anything else about me, know this. And this is the honest to goodness truth. Know this about me. I am Queen Research. My middle name should have been Google, because I Google everything. There is nothing on the face of the earth that if I don't know a question to an answer to, I will go look it up on the internet in a heartbeat. I don't know if I don't know the title to a song, but I know a part of the lyric, I will go Google that part of the lyric and get an answer. Like, that is how far I will go to get an answer. So if you feel like you don't have the time to find the resources that you need, email me. I'll do it for you, just so that you have, that. And I don't care if you're a perfect stranger at all. Like, that is my thing. I feel like I was supposed to do this video because there is someone that's going to watch this that is going to need the help. And like I said, my personal opinion, the first thing you need to do when you lose someone to suicide is you need to go get help yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to be like me. I lost my nephew, I want to say 4 years ago, and I lost someone years before that, and years before that. So this is not a new rodeo for me. I know from personal experience, in the way I feel right now, I probably needed to talk to somebody when my nephew committed suicide, because I'm still hurt by it, and I'm still grieving. Because when you lose someone to suicide, you're probably always going to feel like it was your fault. There was something that you could have done. Like me personally, I know, I feel, I every time I think about my nephew, I feel there was something I could have done. And even the in the back of my mind, I know, or I try to tell myself that's not true, but you can't really help it. You really feel, I just feel like, well, maybe I should have called him more. I should have, visited more. I should have reached out to him more. But a lot of what I feel, and some other people may feel as well, we go through our own, sometimes we get so caught up in our own lives that we don't think to reach out to another person until it's too late. So I kind of knew some of the things that my nephew was going through, but I was going through my own stuff, being a newly single parent, having to deal with where am I going to go? How am I going to take care of my son by myself? Those type of things. So even though I had that stuff going on, to this day I still feel that even having that stuff going on, I should have known that I should have reached out to my nephew, knowing what some of the things that he was going through. So that's my opinion. So that is all I wanted to talk about today. I hope I didn't make anybody depressed with my little almost crying fits. I I really do hope I helped at least one person. That's my only goal, is to help at least one person. I feel like if I can get the message across to one person, then I've done what I was supposed to do. Like I said, I think this message kind of landed in my lap today. So I felt not necessarily obligated, but I think it was necessary for me to talk about it today. I don't know if today is Suicide Awareness or Prevention Day, but they talked a lot about it on the radio, which led me to want to share my thoughts on it.